Oh, you've got to love it. So let's talk about the remap that I've been trying to get done on this 2021 CB650R. I've been riding this bike now for a couple of thousand miles with the Black Widow exhaust on it, and I took it out to a place to get a map done, and unfortunately it turns out that there isn't a map available for the bike. So I was able to get it checked on the dyno, and with the Euro 5 engine and the Black Widow exhaust, it's running marginally lean down low and marginally rich up top, but there is nothing in there to be concerned about in terms of, you know, is it going to cause any damage to the bike? Are there going to be any issues? According to the graph and the two very, very intelligent guys who did the dyno check. Yeah, it's basically, you know, I went out there at 9 AM on Friday, and I didn't leave until 4 PM. The poor guys were trying everything they can. They were dealing with the Italian software company and another tuning company to try and get an ECU map. So to be clear, I don't want to put a power commander in this. I want to have a direct to ECU flash. Reason being is I don't want, you know, an interception of the signal. I want the signal to be properly mapped onto the bike. I know it won't do any harm having a power commander on there or anything like that. It's just a personal preference. Unfortunately, because of how new the ECU is in the 2021 bike, there isn't anything available, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. It's basically the bike has the same ECU in the 2021 CB650R and the CBR650R as is in the new Fireblade. So it is very much a case of it's all very, very brand new. There's not a huge amount that you can do about that until they release. I'll just nip past these guys. There's not a lot you can do until they release the drivers so that they can push to it. So the Italian company are currently working on trying to sort out the drivers for me. Once that's sorted out, I will hopefully be able to get the map on there. I mean, the bike's running lovely. There is a bit of a flat spot around 5,500 to 6,500 RPM, which I started noticing, and it was really nice that I went in there and said, you know, I think there is. I'm not very experienced, so I can't really be sure. And they put it on the dyno, and sure enough, they were able to confirm that there is a bit of a flat spot on this bike between 5,500 and 6,500 RPM. Which, you know, it's no big deal. It's not a problem. It's just something that I want to get smoothed out long term, just because it'll be that little bit nicer. But besides that, it's all good fun. Yeah, these guys that I went to, they were absolutely brilliant. They were a proper pair of racers. They know exactly what they're doing. They were very, very knowledgeable, and like some of the bikes they had in there that they were working on, they had a couple of MTO10s, MV Augustas, Ducatis. I saw a Ducati Panigale, which is a lovely looking machine. I've never seen one up close in person, which was absolutely gorgeous. But I did see something which is really dangerous for me, which is the KTM SMCR 690. Because I really like that bike, and getting up close and personal with it and being able to view it in the flesh, so to speak, has only made that worse, which is not good. I'm not going to buy another bike this year, but I am very, very tempted to get a Supermoto next year, just because I think they look and sound fantastic, and I think they would be absolutely hilarious to own. The other bike which they had there, which I thoroughly enjoyed having a nosy at, was the Kawasaki H2. That thing is a complete and utter weapon, with the big supercharger on the side of it and all that sort of fun stuff. I mean, way out of my league in terms of capability. But fun nonetheless. Yeah, one can dream. We shall call you Lurch. Are you going to pull back out? I am currently running the Black Widow exhaust without a DB killer in. Hopefully that's coming through the helmet quite nicely. I'm going out shortly to go for a ride with a mate of mine who's got himself a little 125, one of the Mutt motorcycles. I don't think I'll be filming that because I haven't asked him if I could, but I just wanted to come out. I took the DB killer out of the bike because it's a lovely day and I wanted to make a bit of noise and be a bit shouty and be a bit of an idiot child man thing. Yeah. The other thing which I've done is I've added heated grips to this. It sounds a bit odd adding heated grips in the height of, well, at the tail end of summer, but I was doing some work on the bike anyway, so I decided to chuck them on there, because when I do set off for a ride to London, you know, 5:30 in the morning, it is a bit nippy still first thing in the morning, so it's nice to have toasty fingers. Oh good, football. I'm assuming it's football. It must be football. They're wearing silly football shirts. Look at all of these athletic folks going to watch sports. Pinnacles of athleticism. Cheeky. And in other news, I have been working on dismembering my Yamaha XS400. It's a 1979 or 1980 Yamaha. That's been fully dismantled. I managed to get it running on both cylinders and it sounds sweet as a nut, so rather than disturbing everything, causing any problems, I'm just going to run it. I'm going to do the paintwork, do the frame customizations and change out all the electrics that I wanted to. I'm recording some of it, which I'll post up as like one of those time-lapse things, I think. Where the fuck are you going, you bumbling twat? With this exhaust, I have to say, I do have to wear earplugs. It's the 300mm oval Black Widow system. It's actually the system for the 2019 model bike, because officially this doesn't fit. It does, it fits fine, it's perfectly easy to install. But the reason why they say that, I think, is because it's not been confirmed to fit the Euro 5 engine, and it, you know, it's officially made for the Euro 4. But it's absolutely fine. It runs as sweet as a nut, makes a lovely noise. It is very loud as well, especially if you take the DB killer out. You don't need earplugs if you've got the DB killer in, but that noise over a very long period of riding, as I experienced on my ride to Wales, will give you a headache. Well, it will give me a headache anyway. And tinnitus. My ears were ringing for 2 or 3 days after that ride, but that was 2 days of continuously riding with a very shouty exhaust on it with no baffling, which I would say was my own fault. So yeah, I would say if you're I don't think this bike needs a map. If you're getting I know the Acra exhaust, the Akrapovic exhaust, you don't need a map for it. They're actually designed for the bike and they come as like bolt-on aftermarkets from new. But if you are putting on like an aftermarket exhaust like this one, then you're not 100%. You don't have to get a map immediately. You can take it and get it dynoed for I think like 40-50 quid, and they'll tell you if you've got any high or low points or any problems like that, and they'll get it sorted. They'll tell you if you need to do it. This isn't one that I need to do per se, it's one more that I want to do. That's about it really. I need to stop saying that's about it really, because that's just fucking weird.